Good evening, world. This is Ivan Omer here again. You guys are probably happy. Oh my god, I was making a video. Look, man. When I made that final announcement, I said I'm peacing out for good. I'm not making any more videos for you. There's a reason why you don't see my face, because once I pay this fee, I am never making videos for you ever again. The only reason why I'm going to make an announcement, I decided to do, even though my miscellaneous series is finished and you guys will be left behind when I'm king and white screen with me, because of the delay, I thought, to be honest, I thought I'll be paying the fee. I thought I'll be paying the fee last year. Hence why I made that miscellaneous series and I decided to not make more videos, obviously. But because there's going to be a huge delay and I'm still working on my book for a good, like, I'm going to be paying the fee, guys, probably 2024 around there, which is like a good 2 years from now. So I thought it'd be cool to do a listening series. So I'll pump out listening videos of me talking for a good I don't know, year, 2 years. That way you guys can enjoy the poor Ivan while you still can. But you won't see me, as this is just going to be a listening series. I'm going to be talking. I'll pump out a video like every day, like I did for a miscellaneous series. That way I keep you guys happy while I'm poor. That way you guys will know, oh my god, like Ivan made a miscellaneous series, and after that he pumped out like videos and we listened to him. I decided to do that as I thought. To be honest, I really thought I'd be paying the fee last year. Hence why had I known I would have paid in 2024, I would have pumped out videos till 2024. Hence, I ended. In other words, I ended my miscellaneous series a bit too early, as it's been 5 months and I'm still working on my book with my younger brother, and I'm not going to be paying the fee until like next year or 2024. So I'll pump out videos for you until the Stefan sit me upstairs. And then once they sit me upstairs and I find out how wicked you are and you made me suffer death to be with my wife, I am done. As even though I'm pumping out videos for you, you don't see me, you're listening to me. Because when I said I'm peacing out for good, I really meant that you're never gonna see my face once I'm king and white screen with me. So I'm gonna be nice enough. Oh, I was made for this. Look, man, I ended my miscellaneous series. You don't see my face, as I'm just pumping out a series where you're listening to me, and that's it. And once I find out how wicked you are, I am ending this listening series, obviously. My miscellaneous series is already over. You're never going to see my face. I'm pumping out this listening series. As I already pieced out, as you don't see my face. But I'm nice enough to I'll pump out videos for you like every day. And I'll talk about stuff like Skysource and Peter Jackson. I'm sure you guys love my last video. So I'll be nice enough, because there's a huge delay and I'm going to pay this fee like in 2 years. I'll be nice enough to pump out videos for you weekly. Listening videos where you listen to me every day, because that's how nice I am. And that way you guys are happy. Oh my god, Ivan was nice enough to pump out some videos after his business series, and even though we didn't see his face, we got to listen to him. Yeah, that's anything Ivan Omer is interesting, obviously. As I'm pretty sure you guys love my last video when I talked about Peter Jackson and Skysource. Yeah, man, you look something fucking crazy. Yeah. Right? So I'm going to talk about the world tour. There's a high chance, guarantee you there's a high chance the Hollywood actors chosen for Zanus and and a lot of people are going to be calling my secretaries saying, hey, we want to interview Iden and Victoria. We want to interview the actors. We want to interview Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson or Peter Jackson. You're looking at something fuckers. As part of when the actors and Peter Jackson and all them sign the contracts, as part of the contract, I'm gonna say, hey, look, man, if we get invited on a world tour, Skysource will cover all the costs, obviously, because the people who interview us can't afford to pay for our flights and stuff. No, they have to Skysource is gonna have to cover the cost, which is easily affordable. As me and VJ are probably gonna have like $20 million left over in our budget, so we'll easily be able to cover the cost for the actors, Peter Jackson and all them. Obviously. So if me and VJ get calls, if my secretaries get calls, obviously, because my secretaries are my agents pretty much, they're my managers pretty much. They're gonna be handling all the scheduling. Well, the head of production will handle the schedules for me and VJ with the actors on stuff. But if my secretaries get calls from all these people around the world, and they want to interview me and VJ worldwide, and they want to get interviewed for me. They want to interview me and VJ. And we're gonna go. It's a good chance. I'm guaranteeing right now, man. Me, VJ, and like Peter Jackson, and like I don't know the 2 script developers, because I can't bring the whole 7 team. There's a high chance I'll only bring like 2 people from the 7 team office because it's cheaper. And I won't bring all the actors. I'll only bring the main like 8 actors. So the actors would go on the world tour. I'd probably be, I don't know, the actor for Tacitonius, Cassius, Papyri, Belle, Mary, you know what I'm saying? Tacius I, Queen Sarah, Job. Those actors, and Queen Sarah, those actors will be coming with me on the world tour. Whereas the other ones, you can't bring all your actors. And Meramis, the actor for Meramis. Whereas all the other actors won't be, like the minor actors and the pretty major ones won't. And the actor for Eritat, too, and for Fool and Morale, those actors will be coming with me on the world tour, obviously. So a good like 10, 11 actors will be coming with me on the world tour. And I guarantee you there's a high chance the actors are going to get invited on a world tour with me and VJ. But it'll be behind the scenes. And if they do, the head of production is going to have to create all those schedules and send it to the actors' agents so that way the actors know what days they have to. It's looking at something crazy, man. It won't be in the public eye, but it'll be behind the scenes. Or they might rent out a stadium, rent out a huge venue with like 20,000 people, and interview me and the actors, but it's all behind the scenes. And you're going to see that trending online. Guaranteed me and Reach are going to invite on that world tour. Maybe not, but I guarantee we're going to get invited on that world tour, man. And the actors, I'm going to say in the contract, hey, look, man, if we get invited on a world tour, you don't have to worry. Your hotel stay and your flights and your feeding is all taken care of. Skyscraper can easily cover the cost for Peter Jackson and the actors, and like the 2 script developers who are my executive producers. So Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are hired. There's a high chance they're going to be going on that world tour with me and VJ, man, and Peter Jackson and the actors. Because Zane's is the best story ever told, and Eric Tassadell himself, and it's an Ivan movie, guaranteed. I guarantee you right now, me and VJ and the actors are going to, and Peter Jackson are going to go on that world tour, man. And their flights, what I'll do is the actors will fly on my private jet, and they'll be flown and you'll be flown on my other jet. Because I'm gonna buy 2 jets. I'll buy like a 7-minute jet, like a 35-minute jet. Some of the actors will come with me on my jet, and the other actors fly on the other jet. You fly them privately. Don't fly the actors commercials that go on the world tour. No, I'll wear them out. Fly them all privately on your jet. That way they're not as stress offs, and they're gonna appreciate you more if you do that. Whereas in Hollywood, they fly the actors commercial when they go on a tour. Whereas me, they all get flown on my jet, man. So their flights are taken care of. They're flown on a private jet, and the hotel, they'll be staying in a nice like $1,500 a night hotel for one night when we go to all these places. And me and Vijay can pay for their feeding, for breakfast. What I'll do is I'll just go to a buffet. I'll go to a buffet, and I'll have my script developers pay for what. I'll give, I don't know, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni come with me. Me and VJ can give them our card. And hey, look, man, every time when we go to all these places, find a hotel, book a hotel for me, my wife, Peter Jackson, the 2 script, and yourselves, obviously, and the actors. Don't book a luxury hotel. It's going to affect the budget. But have them stay at a nice, like, $1,500 a night hotel with a pool. They can stay for one day, and the next day we go on my private jet and we fly to another area. Easily affordable. Me and VJ are going to have like $20 million in our budget. We can easily pay for the actors' flights and their feeding a hotel. And that's why these actors are going to have a blast, and they're going to beg much. If we go on that world tour, and then after they go on that world tour, they party up at the luxury hotel and you have the Ricardo event, these actors are going to beg their ass off. Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson is going to beg their ass off. Yeah, man, it looks something crazy, man. Yeah, man. I know you guys think there's hope. Look, man, you can see the future. You know I'm not making any films for you, as you cannot see my face. This is just a listening series. I thought it'd be cool to do a listening series because considering there's a huge delay, I'm not going to be paying his fee till like 2 years later. So I thought it'd be cool to just do a listening series for a good, like, I don't know, 2 years, 1.5 years. That way I keep you guys happy and you guys can enjoy Ivan O'Meara while he's poor before he becomes king and he's queen with his wife, obviously. As I'm a man of my word. Once I pay his fee, I'm peacing off for good. As I am a man of my word. Yeah, even though you're making videos for us, we're listening to you, we don't see your face. Yes, you don't see my face because I'm a man of my word. When I say you're never going to see me when I'm king, you're never going to see me when I'm king. When I say I'm peacing out for good in that miscellaneous series, I really meant. You can take for granted all you want, man. I'm not making any videos for you. As no way in hell will I let you win the game. You caused mess in my life. And you made me suffer death, hence you're going to pay a price. When I'm king, you're left behind. When I'm poor, I make videos for you right now, like stupid listening videos. When I'm king, you're left behind. You're not safe. You don't see me. Yeah, man. I set the whole thing up. There's no way will me and VJ make you let you win the game. You're not going to win the game. You're going to be left behind when I'm king. I want you screwing with me. Yeah, man. So there's a high chance those actors are going to go on that world tour with me, VJ, and the 17, man. This has been crazy. Garrett, maybe not, but there's a high chance because Zanus is an amazing movie. Best story told in Eretz a Devil. Guarantee we're gonna go on that world tour, but it's all behind the scenes. That you guys are gonna be left out and left behind. You got your fucking deserve. You're gonna be left out, and you're gonna what? You're gonna what? You're gonna feel like shit, and you're gonna see all these trending pictures and trending online. Yeah, this has been crazy, man. If they do send us, if we do go on a world tour, I could have the doc team film it all. You could have the doc team film it if you want. Yeah, I might have, if me and VJ and all of them end up going on a world tour, you can have the doc team film it all if you want. Pay for their flights and film it all if you want to. We'll see what happens. All right, so going back to my skies, I'm going to repeat the same things as over, because I ran out of this to talk about. But anything out of there is interesting, right? My Skysource company will be the biggest film brand in the entertainment industry. It'll be bigger than Disney Film Studios, Warner Bros., Universal, Paramount, Lionsgate. That's why me and VJ are going to be so boss, man. VJ, once she was in Hollywood, I guarantee she auditioned for some big budget movie roles, and they all brushed her aside. And now VJ's bigger than all those producers in Hollywood. All the execs in Hollywood, VJ's bigger than all those executives, as me and VJ are the fucking boss. Obviously. That's how big me and VJ are going to be, man. And if Jon Favreau's hired as my executive producer, script developer, he's going to be the boss too. He's going to be bigger than all these Hollywood executives. As Jon Favreau will be what? He'll be the boss of my company, man. Him and Dave Filoni or Rian Johnson, whoever's chosen, right? They're going to be the boss of my company, obviously. Yeah, and they're going to be responsible. And if he's hired, if they're hired, they're going to be responsible for the casting calls. Hence, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will be the gatekeepers for my company. Because they're going to decide, and me and VJ, there's some actors who I'll just choose, obviously. I'll have my secretaries give their agents a call. But Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to be the gatekeepers for my company, as they're responsible for what? For the casting calls, obviously. They're going to be looking at, I don't pay you big bonus for nothing. I'm not going to hire a casting director. You're wasting money. I'm going to have them look at the reels. Every day you look at the reels. Obviously, you look at the reels, obviously. So once me and VJ start Skysource, I can have, what I'll do is I can have them help me with the concert too. But sometimes sometimes it'll just be me, my wife, Peter Jackson, and the assistant director. We can handle the concerts with the concert artists. And then sometimes I'll have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, if they're hired, they'll be like, hey, look, man, I know you want to do the concerts with me because it's fun, but look, man, I need you guys looking at the reels. Because you're looking at a good, you look for Zanus, you're looking at probably a couple hundred reels. Because you have Sirius, you have Cornelius, you have Eli, you have Eretef, Full Morale. You also have Bass Mass, Lithius, Baramus. You have quite a few people. You're looking at a couple hundred resumes for Zanus. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to be busy looking at all those reels. And they won't, even though it's a lot of work, they won't mind because I pay them a lot of money. Paying Jon Favreau a nice, I don't know, $18, $20 million bonus. He gets his $6 million for the first year, and gets his $3 million. He'll work hard for me, obviously. And Dave Filoni, I'm paying him, I don't know, like $8-9 billion bonus, and he gets like $2 million a year. And he'll be what? They won't mind. Yeah, even though looking at reels is annoying, Ivan pays a lot of money. We go, yeah, I pay you a lot of money. I expect you to work hard. Obviously. As if you slack off, I can fire your ass, and you won't be saved. That's why they're all going to work hard for me, obviously. Because they know, yeah, if we slack off, Ivan can fire us. Yeah, your job is not safe. If you slack off like crazy during the movie project, I can just choose to not resign you, and you can work. You can go back to working in home, being a dirty slave if you want. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's how top notch besides come. I'm gonna have a luxury office. Me and VJ are gonna buy a nice property of land near the water. I don't want my office to be downtown. No, I prefer to buy my own property, property near the ocean. And me and VJ build a nice docks. We're going to spend probably a good $70-80 million for that, man. Because the building that me and VJ are going to build is like a luxury building. Like a nice lot, like probably $18-20 million is going to go towards that building. Because you're looking at a luxury office. What I might do, I'm gonna have an automatic door. I'm gonna have automatic doors in my fucking office. Something high tech, man. Automatic doors, a GPS system. What I'll do is I'll have 2 floors. I'll have the lower floor. The secretaries are gonna be on the lower floor. The 2 secretaries. They have the open desks, and I'll have like an elevator that takes us up to the second floor. And the second floor is where me and VJ's office will be. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's office will be sharing their office if they're hired, obviously, or Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams, right? And the script developer, head of production, and legal advisor have their own office, and they're going to be working. It looks going to be top notch. So I'll have my office have like 2 floors. The first floor is where the secretaries work, and then the bigger bosses. So the secretaries will be my bosses, obviously, and then the bigger bosses work on the higher floor, obviously. Listen, top notch. Even Peter Jackson, who's hired, he'll be wild by miles. Oh my god, you have a nice ass office, a nice studio office. I'm gonna have couches. So when the actors arrive to the office, they sit on the couch. I'm also going to have magazines. The actors can look at magazines while they're waiting, and they're going to be all nervous. I'm saying, yeah, this will be top notch. As even though Hollywood executives have nice offices, in Hollywood, nothing compared to the office me and VJ are going to own. We're looking at a luxury office. If VJ knows what I'm talking about, you can see the future. See what I'm saying here? Yeah, man. And so Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they're going to be lucky. They're going to be lucky, man. Because they're going to be saved for a good, 20, 25 years. I'm only going to have them, if they're hired, I'm only going to have them work for me for my 5 movies. And after the 5 movies, I'm going to retire them, and I'm going to hire a new team. And the other 5, I'll most likely retire after, because a good chance they're going to be in their 40s. So by the time I retire them, they're going to be pushing 72. After they retire, I will what? After the 5 movies, I'll retire them and I'll hire a new team for my second phase. And the high chance for my second phase, I'm thinking of purchasing the rights for the Spider-Man Miles Morales franchise. And I'll do 5. So I'll just do 5 Spider-Man movies. So my second phase, if I purchase the rights for Spider-Man Miles Morales, I'll do a 5-movie Spider-Man series for that movie. You see what I'm saying here? It looks like top notch. It'll cost me probably a good, $600 million, $1 billion to buy the rights for the Spider-Man Miles Morales franchise. I'm also gonna have to buy the rights, license the rights for the villains and all that stuff too, because Sony owns all the rights for Spider-Man Miles Morales. And if you want to have all these other villains come on board in your movie, you have to license the rights, obviously, or something like that, right? You do something like that. But that's a long time from now. That's like 20, 23, 24 years, 22, 23 years from now. A long time from now. Obviously. So after those 5 movies, if Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, or J.J. Abrams, or Rian Johnson are hired, after the 5 movies, you're done. Retire and enjoy your life with the money that you made, obviously. And what I'll do for Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and all of them, I'll give them a retirement plan. So for Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, if they're hired, or J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson, I can give them, a nice $5 million retirement plan. So what I'll do is, so what I'm going to do for you, I'll put $5 million in, I'm going to put $5 million in a retirement plan, retirement package. They can't touch that money. Dave Filoni, I can give him, a $5 million retirement plan, obviously. $5 million. And then the 17, the secretaries, I can give them a what? The secretaries, I can give them a $1.5 million retirement plan or something like that. And then the other guys, I can give them a $2 million retirement plan. The other 3, so script developers, the head of production, and legal ones, I can give them a $2.5 million retirement plan. That money, they can't, look, man, I'm going to give you a retirement plan, but you can't touch this money. That way, you can't touch the money. It's for your retirement, obviously. That way, you have a good retirement. Especially the other 5, they're not making as much as Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Hence why I'm going to give them a nice retirement plan. I'll give the secretaries a nice $1.5 million retirement plan. They can't touch that money. That way, when they retire, they can have. There's a good chance they're going to save some money, obviously. Probably some money, but I'm going to give them the secretaries a nice $1.5 million retirement plan, and I'll give the what? And I'll give Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni a $5 million retirement plan. Easy pocket change. They can't touch the money, obviously. And I'll give the other 3, the head of production, legal advisor, and an account and give them like me, VJ can give them like a nice 2.5 million retirement plan, which is nice, obviously. Again, the reason why I'm so generous is because me and VJ are gonna be so rich. We have an embarrassment of riches, man. Because me and VJ are gonna make like 3.5 million off Zanus for the posters and movies. We're also gonna be receiving hundreds of millions of dollars in tax returns. I don't know, me and VJ are gonna receive, I don't know, $600 million in tax returns. A lot of money. Same time, we're also going to be receiving hundreds of millions of dollars for the re-release. The re-releases. Me and VJ are going to be loaded. We're going to be making so much money. But Jon Favreau and my 7 team are going to be receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars, even up to $1 million in tax returns for how much they made for my movies too. As well as all the Hollywood actors. All the Hollywood actors are going to receive hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax returns. The actors for Zanus are going to receive hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax returns. My account will send them their T4. Their T4, their tax returns information. They're going to receive $100,000 in tax returns too. Yeah. Don't forget about that too. So hence the actors are going to be loaded too, obviously. Right? So all the main people who work for my company, I'm gonna give them a retirement package. So the photographers, I'll give them like, I don't know, a $200,000 retirement plan, which is nice. I'll give the photographers a nice $200,000 retirement plan for my company. They can't touch the money, obviously. And the web designer and graphic designers, you can give them like $100,000 retirement plan, which is nice. So my web designer and the head chefs, I'll give them like a $200,000 retirement plan too. So if Eric Chong's hired, I'll give him a $200,000 retirement plan, which is nice for a head chef. Obviously, that way when he retires, he has a good retirement for himself. So what I'll do is I'll have the accountant create the retirement plan for all my main people. And they put the money in the retirement plan, but they can't touch the money. Look, man, you can't touch this money. You can only touch this money once you retire. After the 5 movies, once I retire you can get your retirement money, obviously. So Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will have their $5 million retirement plan, which is nice, obviously. Dave Filoni, I can give him like $4 million. I'll give Dave Filoni like 3.54 because he's not worth as much. I can give Dave Filoni like 3.5 million retirement plan or some of that, and Jon Favreau, I'll give him $5 million for a retirement. That way he has, even though he's making sure the money, just in case, because some people blow their money, right? He has a nice retirement plan for himself and him and his family, as well as Dave Filoni, as well as the secretaries and the other 3, obviously. And the doc team, the cameraman, I'll give them a $200,000 retirement plan too. Obviously, so because the doc team are my main people, obviously. So the head chefs, photographers, web designer, graphic designers, my 7 team, and the doc team, they all get a retirement plan package. Whereas everyone else, they don't get that. Obviously, the actors don't get that because they're contractors, and the actors are going to get their hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax returns from what they made from my movie, anyways. And I gave the actors their $250,000 royalty check. And the actors are not my main people, obviously. But the 7 team and the doc team and the photographers and designers and all them, they all get what? Their retirement plan, which is nice, obviously. Considering you and your wife me and VJ never have to work again. We're gonna make billions off our movies and posters, and we're gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars of our tax returns, as well as the releases. You give your main people a nice retirement plan. See what I'm saying here? Now, going back to directors. For Last of Us Anything, where I want Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson to direct my movie. So Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are obviously, when they watch the video, they're obviously joining for joy. Oh my god, Ivan's in the higher ones. Yes, once I pay this bullshit fee and I cry my eyes on Connor from death, and I see my wife, yeah, peace out. And I start that Scottish Discovery with my wife. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm immediately going to call Peter. There's a good chance our agents are going to call my office right away because they want to write my movie so bad. Because once they read my book, they're going to want to get their hands on my story because I get the best story ever told. I'm going to call Peter Jackson's agent and Mel Gibson's agent. Hey, I'm considering hiring one of your directors. I want to fly him to Hollywood. Okay. And my secretary gives Peter Jackson's agent a call. Mel Gibson's agent a call. Okay, Ivan and Vijay will fly you to their office on this day. I believe Peter Jackson lives in New Zealand and Mel Gibson lives in New Zealand too, or America. They're both from New Zealand. I'm going to fly those guys into my office, my luxury jet. They get their 2 beers, and the doctor will be filming them. They're going to be competing for the directing job. And you're going to see how hard these directors are going to fight for the role, man. This has been crazy. Because they all want to direct my movies so bad. They also want to be safe too, and they're looking at the best servitor for Zanus. Eric has to tell himself, and I'm also giving them an unlimited budget. I'm giving Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson an unlimited budget to play around with, man. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson had a limited budget. He only made that movie for $90 million, obviously. Hence, Peter Jackson really had to be careful for all these scenes. Because Lord of the Rings was a very limited budget. It was made for $90 million, and that includes salaries. They probably only put like $30 million per movie for Lord of the Rings. For special effects, you got a movie like that. I'm putting $400 million towards special effects alone. That doesn't even include salaries, man. You also have the set building. I don't know, $30 million towards set building. I'm building a good, like, I don't know, 2 acres. Before I said 8 acres, that's crazy. No. I'm probably going to have, I don't know, 1.5 acres, 2 acres for Zanus, 0.5 acres for Saphius, 1 acre for Saphius, 2 acres for Barack. Something crazy. Yeah, man. Huge. That's why these actors going to be wild with technology. Yeah, man. And you guys see footage, you already know what I'm talking about. You already know how top-notch my last Zanus movie. It looks been crazy, man. Eric has to tell himself, it looks been crazy, yeah, man. So Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson, I'm gonna find him off. I'm gonna ask him a series of questions. Okay, when you read my book, what do you picture in your mind? What do you picture in your mind? What do you see the South as when I mention it being cursed? What do you think of Eretat when I say it's a devil walking in the South? Do you see him as a wolf with 4 legs? You see him as a wolf with human appearance. You see him as a wolf looking like a werewolf. What are you thinking of for Ephesus, the devil can get in mountains? What are you thinking of the Western Gilead Mountains in the cursed mountains in the south with the big mosquitoes and the jaguars? What are you thinking of the ancient Gilead city where Ephesus, the devil bat king lives? What are you thinking of the great forest of Galathea, the cursed forest of Galathea? What are you thinking of the Valley of the Dark that leads to Barack? What are you thinking of Barack when you have all the pavilions and tents where Eretat and his wolves live? Yeah, I'm thinking something like, remember that scene in Fellowship of the Ring where when you saw the orcs what? Forging swords, and then Saruman walks, obviously, and they dig the orcs dig, and you see the boss orc. Think of something like that for Barack, yeah, man. Except 3 times scarier than those orcs, yeah. What are you thinking of Zanus? What are you thinking of the northern Gilead Mountains? That's not cursed. What are you thinking of the city's edge? The river of Tynus, the Great Wall of Zanus, the Blood Valley, the bridge between the north and the south. What are you thinking of the cursed demon ancestors in the south? The holy ancestors in the north, they come up with all these ideas. Whoever comes up with a better idea, that's the director who I'll be hiring. And you're going to see how hard Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are going to be fighting for the role, man. They're going to be fighting hard for that role, man. It looks something crazy. Yeah, man. You're looking at something fucking crazy. You're going to see how hard. It's documentary film is too. And for the Great Escape movie, those 2 directors will be fighting for the role too. The one who directed John Wick and Casino Royale, they're going to be fighting for that role too. I'm going to ask them some questions. Whoever comes with a better answer, that's the director I'm hiring, obviously. Obviously, right? It doesn't mean crazy. So Peter Jackson, if he's hired, I'm willing to pay him $60 million. $60 million for the role. I can even pay him $70 million. Because Peter Jackson's so big, I'm willing to I can bargain for $70 million. If Peter Jackson's really greedy, I can even pay him $70 million for the role. Honestly. Whereas Mel Gibson, I'm not going to hire him $50 million because he's only worth like $400 million. Whereas Peter Jackson's really big, man. The guy's worth like $1.5 billion, man. He's really big. I can pay Peter Jackson even $70 million to direct my movie because he's so big. I can pay him a $10 million signing bonus, obviously, for the 3 years. So you get your $10 million for the 3 years. You get your perks, obviously, and I pay him a fat $60 million at the start of production. And I'm not, $70 million is the max I'm not going to, if he wants $100 million or $80 million, I'm not paying him, that's crazy. $70 million is the highest I'm ever going to go for Peter Jackson, as that is good enough. Because he's so big, I can even pay him $70 million to direct my movie, because he's so big, obviously. And I'll give him full power over my movie, and I'll give Mel Gibson full power over my movie if he's hired. So I'll pay Peter Jackson, I'll go a bit higher. I'll pay Peter Jackson $70 million to direct my movie, because he's so big. Pay him a lot of money. Pay Peter Jackson a good $70 million. $70 million to direct to direct my movie, obviously. 70, you can even pay him 70, 71, 72 million to direct my movie. He'll be walking away with like a $40 million check in his bank. That's good enough, as I'm not going to hard enough for him. If he wants 80, 90, 100, if he gets greedy and he wants a piece of me and VJ's royalties, and he wants like 80, 90 million, look, man, like I'm paying you $7 million, that's good enough. If you don't like it, go back to Hollywood, go back to being a slave, and if you don't like my offer. And I'm willing to give him a $2 million for the re-release. And I'm willing to give Mel Gibson $2 million. So I'm going to pay Peter Jackson $50 million. I'll pay him $2 million for the re-release. And I'll give Peter Jackson $70 million to direct my movie and executive produce. And I'll give him $2 million for the re-release. Which is good enough, man. If these guys are greedy and they want a piece of my royalties, they're not getting a piece of my royalties. Zero. You're not working with us. If you want $100 million or $90 million or $80 million, I'm not paying him. That's crazy. As you got to watch out for your budget, man. Even though me and VJ will make our money back, it's pocket change. I'm not going any higher than $70 million for Peter Jackson. That's good enough, man. I was just walking away with, I don't know, $40 million in his bank. And so I'm not going any higher than that for Peter Jackson, obviously. And whoever's hired, they'll be the boss of my movie. So Peter Jackson's hired, he'll be the boss of my movie. He'll be overseeing the 7 team, consulting for business with the 7 team. And he'll be what I'll do is I'll also have me and VJ make the calls for the special effects. Because Peter Jackson obviously knows the best companies for the special effects. I won't have my 7 team make the calls for special effects. No, I prefer me. I think it's better that me and VJ make the calls for special effects. We get the best computer software for special effects. And Peter Jackson will be helping me out with all that. Okay, Peter, I want to put $390 million towards special effects. What's the best company in Hollywood for special? Yeah, Ivan, this is the best company for the special effects computer software. And me and VJ make the calls and we buy it. We rent it, don't buy it. We rent all the best computer technology software for CGI. Yeah, the blue screen, the green screen, all that stuff. Obviously. I'm going to cut my count off here.